Okay, we're back. I'm Cole House, and we have Chuck and Mary of Beach Bulldogges. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather. It's only
It
90.
looks nice back there.
What's that?
It looks nice back there.
Yeah. Well, we live back in the woods, you know.
Yeah.
So, we got a little pool, and we stay in it a lot. We've been out working in the yard all day, so it's kind of cool off.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying to hide my dirty fingernails, but so far so good.
we were in the pool, so we're pretty clean now.
Oh, I was working in the garden and doing some stuff in the kennel.
Yep.
Yeah.
We did that.
Misters. I got these misters. This is my first year doing it, and they like to plug up from time to time.
Yeah.
I think I need to put like a little filter on the end of the water hose or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah. So you guys have indoor-outdoor situation for your dogs, air conditioned fans, dehumidifier, right?
That thing is awesome. It wasn't cheap, but we've had it for about 5 years now, and if we didn't have that, when it gets hot outside, it's cooler in there. It just starts sweating. The floor's all wet. It's pretty gross. But ever since we got on those days, we just turn it on. Normally, it's on 24/7 in the summer, but it's not really running, until it's needed. So, but it works great. It's a big unit.
But the kennel, it's amongst trees. We've got a lot of pine trees all around, so gives them a lot of shade.
Yep.
Yeah, I seen that on the other day. It's like a plantation pine.
Yeah, well, it's they plant it in a row so they could timber it. They timbered this property before we bought it. I think it's been like 20 years now since it's been timbered. Yep.
Yeah, I used to for about 5 or 6 years I had a log truck.
Okay.
So that's why I seen that plantation pine back there.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Lollipoplar or something like that. I don't know. It's
maybe
it's not
here they have southern yellow pine.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. That's awesome. So
we got some oaks, but a lot of hardwoods, but it's scattered.
Yeah.
So most of that's down by the swamp. We got a swamp too. So do a lot of deer hunting. We have a lot of wild game. We got bear, turkey, a lot of deer. I got a clover field that's right over there, and every night I got 4 or 5 deer in there every night.
Yep. People trip out on me when I tell them I've never really got into hunting because I didn't grow up here.
Right.
Where I grew up, people go hunting, but you got to go do it.
Yeah.
You got to go up to the mountains and know somebody and all that. So most of us just never. But here, I'm same thing. I got deer that patrol around my place too.
Yep, I bet.
Yeah. So I like it.
When he shoots the deer, then after I can grind up the meat, and then the dogs get it.
Yep. And we give it to them. We give it to them raw.
Yeah.
And they love it. So like she'll shoot 8 to 10 deer a year. And in the beginning, I'll take like the back straps and be a ham. The rest of it goes to the dog. We grind it all up, put it in 1-gallon bags, and we give them their kibble, and they get deer meat,
sweet
potatoes, vegetables, all mixed in. So
you do like bones and organ too, or just the muscle meat?
Just the muscle and the white membrane. Our grinder won't do bone, unfortunately.
Yeah. You ever think about just putting one out there and letting them go at it?
I have, and I didn't like it.
No?
Well, what happens is with the Bulldogges anyway, they get a piece and it starts out this big, and then they gnaw it down, and they just keep trying to swallow it. They're going to get all just to get it down their throat. And I watched it a few times. I was like, no, because they're trying to swallow it. It won't go down. They hack it back up. So we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I give mine chicken quarters, and there's a little bit of that, but
yeah, Yeah.
Some people give them like the feet and the wings. I don't give them anything that looks like, oh, I can just go ahead and nah. It's got to be as big as your head, buddy.
Exactly. It's got to be big, and then take it away from them when they gnaw it down. And and also when you give them that stuff, like a bone like that, they also, gives them the poops.
Yeah.
Our
That
dog.
chalky white poop. It's strange.
When they poop out in the yard, out here in the run, it turns white, and if you miss a pile, in a week it's gone anyway. But she doesn't miss a pile. She picks it up.
Yeah. You gotta stay on top of that stuff, or else
oh yeah.
Between the flies and the jungle, everything's coming for it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So do you guys deal with like snakes and stuff? You said you had a swamp back there.
We get snakes. Mainly black snakes. They're harmless. We try not to kill them, but if they get
them,
we rehome them. They get in our chicken coop, and they love it in there.
Oh, so
if they won't, once they get into the coop, it's hard to keep them out. They just keep coming back. So sometimes we do kill them, just so they stop eating our eggs. But I've seen a couple copperheads. Almost stepped on one not too long ago, but not often. Not too bad.
We got cottonmouths here, and those are like land and water snakes.
Yeah. Yep.
See, Arkansas is in a strange spot because we're kind of in the middle, so we get the overlap of everything. Like
rattlesnakes too, don't you?
Rattlesnakes. They spotted some alligators in southern Arkansas, stuff like that. Stuff that really doesn't belong here, but not too far, and it'll kind of drift in. So, we just do everything.
Believe it or not, we have gators here too.
Oh yeah,
yeah. There's a park right down the road, Merchant Mill Pond, and there's a 20-footer. I think he's almost 20 foot, and he's been in there for 30 years.
Is Betty White feeding him or what?
No, I don't think anybody's feeding him, but the ranger that's been there for a long time says he was there 10 years before, he got there.
Oh,
and this is ready to retire, but he says
dinosaur.
He's in this one spot on this log, this big log.
It's his log.
It's his log, and that's where he hangs out. And
we have pictures with him.
Yeah, we kayak and we get in there, and you can get pretty close to him.
Mm-hmm.
Hell no, nope.
No, yeah, we don't get that close, but you can get 50 feet, something like that. But I'm not messing with that.
No,
when you're walking at the kennel, I'll run down there just to check, because one time there was a snake.
Yeah, inside the kennel.
Inside the kennel, it came in through the drain, and I'd go around and try to shoot it out, and then after it go out, and then try to come in through, one of the other access we have where the dogs can.
One of the runs.
One of the runs.
Yeah.
So I didn't care for that.
Yeah. Summertime.
Yeah.
It's on us.
Yep.
I don't know about where you're at, but here it got on us like suddenly.
Yeah.
Last week was like in the, mid 70s and then 90, 92.
And I am not ready, I'll tell you. It takes me a little to acclimate,
Yeah. I'm trying to get ready.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, dogs, they start shedding so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what got my shower stopped up. Because my wife, she's a religious mopper.
Yep.
And I think she's pouring the hair down the drain.
Oh.
Yeah. So, it's all happening at once.
Do you have a septic system?
We do.
You do. You definitely don't want them going down that drain.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not good for your septic. So.
Yeah, you're right. You are 1,000% right.
Yeah, that'll cost you some money right there.
Yeah.
Get out. It's not really that big of a deal. Here, it's only like $300 to have one cleaned out. So
it's not horrible.
Yeah.
And now I know where the cap's at.
Yep.
Last time we didn't know. We had to search around a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's tell me your oldie origin story.
Okay, so Well, before we got into oldies, we, like I told you before, we had we started with pits, and man, I think that was like in the late '80s. Um, yeah, that was in the late '80s, and we did that for a few years, couple years, and like I said, one got stolen, and we just decided that wasn't a breed for us. Even though I did love them, I mean, they're great dogs. They got a bad rap, but they're great dogs. So then we got into oldies when my kids were wanting to get a dog. That was in 2004. I looked that up. So that was in 2004. Our first, we got a male from Lamb Goose's Bam Bam, he was owned by Rio Bravo.
Okay.
And then we got a female from, I can't remember where she was from, but she was like a brindle dog. And that was the first brindle I had ever had. So, yeah, so 2004.
Yeah.
For oldies.
That's crazy to me that you say you had a pit that got stolen, because I worry about my oldies getting stolen. Because they got no stranger danger. They'll jump right in the car with somebody.
Oh, the same way.
That's the one that we gave our son in Arkansas. He's going to college, and he had an apartment, and it was close to one of the campus area hangout.
Yeah.
And they have like the bars on the outside, and they have for drinking and partying and stuff like that. So he lived close to that. So that dog Buster would leave my son's property and walk on over to the bar and hang out with everybody. And they started calling him Potty Boy. And he was just so friendly to everybody. And then he'd come and go. Yep. Well, one time, my son called us up and said he got stolen.
Yep.
And one of those things where, okay, everybody was looking for him, because everybody knew Potty Boy.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the lady pulls up and says, "Hey, I got your dog." And he said, "Well, how did you get him?" "Oh, he hopped in my van." Well, that dog never hopped in no van.
Yeah.
He would always put his paws on, near the seat.
Yeah.
Say, "Lift me,"
Yeah. Even though he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he suggested that he come along, and she obliged.
Yeah.
No, but being a bulldog, he was on the stubborn side. He knew he wasn't in the right place. She had him in the bathroom, and he messed all over the place because that was not his home. So she brought him back. She didn't want him.
Yeah.
But you didn't worry about that. And then that's why we do have a lot of alarms, a lot of cameras all around, because it's better safe than sorry.
Yeah. We don't have any problems here. We're in the woods. I mean, you'd have to walk through the woods to get here, unless you come down our driveway. And we got cameras, alarms.
Wired for sound, huh?
Yes, sir. It sure is.
Yeah.
And, it's for game too. For the wildlife.
Yeah. So let's see. And then when you got into oldies, you've actually done a lot of interesting stuff with them.
Yes.
That a lot of people talk about, but don't get around to. You did it.
Yeah. Well, I have a problem sitting still. But yeah, I mean, I got into the Schutz Hounds. Had one of the, as far as I know, I don't know if it's still true or not, but one of the only oldies that has a Schutz Hound title.
That was at the time.
That was years ago. Maybe somebody's done it by then. I don't know. I got into weight pulling, and I had a girl that got invited to nationals. That was some time ago. But here lately, I've been slacking.
What kind of weight do they pull? Like, what kind of weight we talking about?
Yeah, she was pulling. I think her top was like 2,800 pounds on a cart. Yep, on wheels. A gravel track. I mean, she beat some dogs who were much bigger than her. She was only 60 pounds.
So you could have hooked her to a Honda Civic and got in and got pulled up the street.
Yep. And I had her trained up pretty good. When we would get in there, she would hear that click from when you take the leash off. She'd hear that click, and I had to get out of the way. And she would pull the cart that fast.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. They only have a certain amount of time to get across.
Okay. It's amazing how certain sight sounds trigger them.
Yep.
I had one dog that, not even like weight pull, just his harness to walk around with.
Yep.
The sight of that thing. After that, there's no.
Yep.
You gotta walk. You gotta go, or else he's not going to be no good to you after that.
Yeah, that's right. That's even like in the house and you're packing up to go somewhere. They know. They know you're leaving or it's time to ride. So they start getting.
Yeah, they do. They do. So after you got into was the oldie what you were expecting?
Yeah. Buster was. We never bred him. We were still pretty green back then. We never bred him, and then I ended up giving him to my stepson in Arkansas.
Okay.
He was University of Arkansas at the time, in Fayetteville. So he had him, and but after that I started, I got another male, and moved on from there. So.
Okay. So what made you not breed that dog and then get it? Like, what did he lack, or what were you looking for? Or
well, I didn't know a whole lot about it, then, I don't even think I knew how to AI back then.
Yeah.
So collecting and all that, I didn't know. And, he wouldn't mount the female. So that was pretty much, I guess, a done deal. And then I ended up getting another male, and he definitely took care of it. And then as you go along, you learn how to, so, but I mean, he was a good looking dog. He just had no desire,
Yeah.
Like we had this one male, he was beautiful. And he would walk up to her, she'd be flagging, he'd sniff it and walk away. So we had to AI him every time.
I wonder if that's a consequence of generations of AI, and
I think it's all temperament. I mean, some dogs don't.
Yeah, we've got one girl, and it's funny because she was bred to Buster at one time, and then the next time she was over, and it was like, no, I don't want you, and she wanted the other dog.
It wasn't Buster.
No, it wasn't Buster. It was someone else.
Yeah.
But she was picky.
Yeah.
So it's funny. You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, and you guys free whelp, huh?
Yes.
We try.
Yeah, I'd say 95% of the time. Yep. We do it right here. We'll let them out, and it's typically we're in this area. We don't even go down there. We let them do their thing, and we can see the kennel from here. But we got a big run on this side and one over here, and we'll watch them. And if I'm at work, she'll send me a picture. Oh, they tied. It's all right.
Yeah.
And then she's got her records that she keeps, and we know exactly what day they tied. And it's going to be multiple times. We try to keep it to 3, so we know when the pup is going to be born.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do it more than 3 times.
Yeah. It's a trip because that was one of the things about the oldies that drew me to it was, they free tie, free whelp.
Yep.
And to this point, we haven't done either.
Oh no.
We had a female and a male in the beginning, and like I say, he just didn't get it done. I think it might have been his body shape. He was kind of a longer dog, kind of heavy. She was tall. Like it just kind of the math didn't math. You know what I mean?
Yep, gotcha.
And ever since then, like we realized that the clock is working against us. So
you have a window, especially you have a very short window.
Yeah,
especially with the female.
Yeah, and then if it's hot outside or in the summertime, springtime, it's just easier to get it done.
Yeah.
Well, as weird as it is, as
we can turn the AC on in the kennel, and we'll do it right in there. If we have to go in there and take care of it.
10 minutes.
Yep. Not even 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah. And then free whelping too. We gotta Eventually, I'm gonna grow the nerve, and we're gonna just see what happens, But I haven't yet.
Like to, since we have a vet that's like on call, and we got his personal number. If we have a problem, we can call him at any time. Sunday too, like I said before, in the morning, and he'll meet us there at the vet's office. We like the female to at least try to push out one, because if they just have all the puppies a C-section, when you get them home, there's this disconnect. They don't, they're like, well, what's this? I didn't do this. It takes them a little bit. Some of them take, no time. Some of them take a couple days. So we
the chain's definitely broken.
Yes.
Yeah.
We let them try to have at least one, before we try to take them to the vet. And then, depending on how she is and how many puppies are in there, we may give her a shot of oxytocin. But you got to be careful with that too, because you can ruin their uterus.
Yeah.
And if the puppy's breached sideways and you're giving them moxie, that ain't good either. You kill the whole litter.
Yeah.
So.
And then where we live, the vet is there Monday through Friday. Well, actually, Monday through Wednesday, not Thursday. Back Friday, leaves at 5 o'clock. Anything after hours, you're up the creek. You're driving to Little Rock.
Yeah. And probably 2 times the amount then, right? For an
it's crazy. To get it done here is $1,100.
Right.
And then, after hours vet, you get 3-4x that easy.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So
I think typically ours are around $1,500, for a C-section, emergency C-section.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's what he does for us. He charges us like $300 extra, which is nothing. I'm happy to pay that. And that's him putting up with help.
That's not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
When we were in Virginia Beach, we paid in excess of $3,500. It just, depends. How many?
It's funny because if there's an emergency, we'll go in. Chuck lets me do the talking because when it comes to my family, my dogs don't do anything wrong because mama comes out. And I had to tell the vet, okay, don't you think, it's an emergency. Don't you think that you should be doing the C-section instead of talking to me? And it's like, I go berserk. It's like, take care of my animals. That's why I'm paying you. Take care of them.
Yeah, well, we're waiting, and she's in the office, lollygagging, talking with the other people in there. Like
the door open so I can see what she's up to. It's like, get your butt up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just stress.
I get it.
Just stress.
I get it. Yeah. There's a
point where sometimes, you go there and more than what the vet knows. There was one time that we went because she was pushing and pushing, nothing was happening. So we took her to an emergency vet, and Chuck told them, I can feel a pup that is in birth canal. And she goes, well, we don't know if we're going to do a C-section or not. And he goes, it's stuck. And it was a young girl, and she just...
Well, she palpated. She was feeling her, and she's like, I don't think there's a pup in there. And I said, well, I'm telling you, there's a pup in there. She goes, you still want me to do the x-ray? And I was like, yeah.
Oh, this was a different time.
Yeah. So, we should have better. If there's a pup in there, you pay for the x-ray.
Ooh, yeah.
But, thinking that clearly, and sure enough, she come out. She goes, you won't believe it. There's a pup in there.
You don't say, huh? Actually, I did say. Yeah.
Yeah. I could feel its foot. I knew it was down in there.
Yeah.
But love-hate relationship with vets. But we got a good one right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a litter of dachshunds, and I took my puppies in there to get their 7 weeks to check up. And my wife took them, and he says, oh, this one's testicles are not dropped yet. I'm like, he's like, oh, you're gonna have to get him neutered when the time comes. That. My wife calls me. Oh, he says, I said, 7 weeks old.
Yep, he's got some time.
First of all, no cause for alarm yet. Not even really nothing to take note of yet.
Yep.
Cause for alarm way down is down the road.
Yep.
And then there's there's stuff. I know there's stuff.
Yep.
There's options, but they don't. They just always trying to get you to fix your dogs and spay and neuter. And Bob Barker, boy, he got us, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. But talking about the vets, you see them when they put the hemostat on the umbilical cord. I was telling you, I see them walking around with a puppy, and it's just hanging there. These big old long scissors, and I'm like, don't do that.
Hernias.
They're with them sometimes, and I was telling you, all you got to do is squeeze the umbilical cord. When they come out, that sac is there. I'll tear the sac off. I do it all. I don't let Mama do any of it. And I just pinch it, tear that thing, hold it for 10 seconds, and it stops bleeding. You don't have to, vet wants to do surgery. They want to stitch it all up, and none of that's necessary. I mean, they did it a while, So
yeah.
But they're going to charge you for it.
So our suggestion is just know your vet.
Yep.
You know your animal. Stick to what you know.
Yep.
And
breathe.
Yeah, breathe.
Yeah, we typically don't let people in our kennel. It's not because we don't like people. It's because we don't know where they've been. We don't know what they're carrying. They could be out puppy shopping for all I know, and they could have just came from another kennel. And Lord forbid, what if they have parvo? And they bring you. We've never had any issues like that. We got kennel cough one time from a vet. But if we do let somebody in, either they're changing their shoes, or we have a bucket down there and it's got bleach in it before they can walk in. But only my friends, people that I really know, have been in the kennel. Now I have let a couple people bought puppies, but typically I'll get the mom and dad out, and they can come out here in the backyard and they can see mom and dad.
Yeah.
I don't let strangers in the kennel.
Yeah.
So, as far as cleaners, I love Swishy. Kennel Sol is real good. But the Swishy.
That's what I use.
Kennel Sol.
Yeah, I like the smell.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I use the Swishy. It's very corrosive to the metal and everything. And I swear, I'm running out of clothes. You get that stuff out and you get a drip on your shorts or your shirt.
Swishy.
I probably 20 shirts and they all got stains on them from that.
Hey, you know what? No two people call that stuff the same thing. That's a weird little word.
Is it?
Is it the WSI, whatever that? Yeah.
Yep.
I've asked 3 different people. They told me 3 different ways. No one knows.
How do they say it?
I've heard wishy wash, wizzy wash. You said swishy wash. Like no one knows.
It's wishy. Yep.
Okay.
What kills me about that, it's a great product. I really like the canister and their the thing you put in there. It's solid and it just dissolves over time. But the canister part I like. But man, the engineer that designed that canister, why he made the bottom of it round, so you can't just sit it down, is beyond me. I don't understand that. You got to lean it up or something. But after you're done using it, you want to open that thing up and drain the liquid out, okay, and then put the lid back on and store it. Because if not, and it sits in that water, and in a week's time, it's all gone. And then when you fire it up the first time, it's all liquid, and you're throwing a lot of that chemical out. You got to drain it every time you use it.
And you said it's corrosive.
Yes. Oh yeah. We just got done replacing, I think, half of our kennel doors. They just rotted out. Now I don't know if it was all from the wishy, but
no, other people were having problems with it, but the wishy.
Bleach probably do the same thing. So they're just made in China. But for how much they are, replacing the doors is probably still the cheapest way.
Yeah. Like I said, I use that Kennel Sol. I really like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I'll do the wishy first, and then I'll come back with the Kennel Sol. And I do that in my drain down the middle of the kennel, because the smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's show the kennel video.
Go ahead.
You want to do inside or outside first?
Whatever you prefer.
I'm asking you.
Oh, let's do outside.
Okay, here we go.
We'll walk through that gate to come down here to the kennel, and there is the kennel. That's one side. We've got a couple dogs out running. It's only 95 degrees today.
95.
About a quarter acre of run over there. It's all fenced in. And here's I think we have 7 runs over here, and a bigger one for puppies. That's the safe area. Those panels there go on to the wall.
Show that safe area one more time.
Safe area.
You want to talk about that, Chuck?
Yeah, that is just where we are able to let a dog out into this first little run. It's like 6 foot, and it prevents, that if we have another dog out, we can still switch them. But once they're past the wooden fence, they can't get in to the front of the kennels where the other dogs are.
So there's no racing back.
So there's no, like, they're running back and forth chasing each other or fence fighting. We call it the safe area. It's if a dog does get out, they're not out in the run, they're in there. They're stuck in there.
Still another gate, yeah.
So another gate.
Yep. Woohoo, I got through the gate. Dang it, another gate.
They cannot get out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I have the lock on that thing there, the hinge. It's hanging there, I think. But we normally have them going through that, so that can't be lifted.
Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yep.
Thank
you.
Go ahead.
Safe area. Those panels there go on to the wall. I just haven't done it yet.
Just slacking.
That's the other side. We've got Miss Sophie out here running around, and Teddy. That's our pet Frenchies.
One another thing I saw. Back up a little bit. The hose reel.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk hose reel. Which one is that? Do you like it?
Several of those. Those V-Vor hose reels. They're pretty nice. I did have one fail right where the gun goes. But it's an easy fix. They're nice. The hose reel itself is nice. The hoses are kind of cheesy. But for the money, they work really well. And you can pull it back, and it'll take the whole hose all the way back in. And the cool part is, in the wintertime, I just pull one pin, and the whole thing comes off the slide, and I put it away for the winter.
Okay.
Then I just have a hose out there, and we just disconnect it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't freeze.
Yeah. Okay. That's something I've been looking at adding is a hose reel. So I was curious about that because
they're nice.
Yeah.
You can get on 50 foot. We got one up here at the house that it goes 130 feet.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
And then the dogs can't chew the hose.
Yeah, and you can put them away, and the dogs won't chew the hose.
Yeah, my dogs eventually, because my hose runs from the house.
Yep.
I haven't put water back in at the kennel yet. So I got a hose running all the way back there. Yep. And every once in a while, I have a bulldog that lives in the house with us all the time, and then the wieners, and eventually somebody will get interested in that hose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
in the safe, that one side you saw, the hose, if we leave it too close to the fence, we've had dogs actually reach in there and try to pull it out. And if we got to pay attention to where we're leaving it lay. That's why we got that right there. We can just retract it and be done with it.
Yeah, I like it. All
long enough to do both sides.
Huh?
That hose is long enough to do both sides.
Nice.
Yep. To the wall. I just haven't done it yet. I'm kind of slacking. This is the other side. We've got Miss Sophie out here running around, and Teddy. That's our pet Frenchies. And we've got 7 runs over here, and they go inside. And they've got about a quarter acre run over on this side also. It goes a good ways. It's all fenced in. And they got dog houses over there in case it rains, but there's always somebody here.
Nice.
So there's lights outside so we can see at night, you know.
Yeah. And you're set up for quite a few more dogs than you have, which is nice.
Oh yeah, we've got plenty of room. I don't know if we'll ever get to where we thought we would, you know, get, but you know,
yeah,
14 dogs. We could hold 14 dogs easily.
Yeah,
it's a lot of dogs. I mean, for us, you know.
Yeah. I think no one says it, but I think 10 dogs is about, after that, you pretty much got to be home. Like,
Yeah, yeah. And you know, Mary's here. That's what she does. You know, when I'm leaving to go to work in the morning, you know, she's headed to the kennel, and she's down there, you know, half the day cleaning. It's every day.
It's throughout the day.
Yeah, and then she'll go back down there every couple hours. You know, rotate the dogs, let 2 dogs run out here, so they're getting exercise. You know.
So let's see. I see your safe area. I like the hose reels. Weird as that is, I like it. And I like that you have capacity still.
The what?
That you still have capacity. Like you can, if you've seen a puppy you wanted or something, or you know you wanted to keep more than one or whatever, you're okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, we're really keeping some dogs. I mean, we've never kept 2 puppies from a litter before, and we've been doing that.
Yeah.
I'm loaded with males right now. So I might place a male, I don't know, but you know, we need females. I think I got 4 males? I think we have 4 males. And it's good to keep them, you know, but yeah, we got one guy we're getting ready to retire. Of course, we got the new pup, the Tigger. He'll be up and coming, hopefully.
Yeah.
You know, no guarantees. You know, he's just a prospect. You know,
Right.
Yeah, you get those little puppies and people are posting them up. You know, they're going to be fire. Well, you hope it's going to be fire. You know, because you don't know.
Only time will tell you.
That's right. You don't know. I mean,
and time is not on our side.
That's right. Yep. So
yeah. So if someone asks you what they should start a program with, a male or female, what's your answer?
I don't know if that really matters much. I would say a female first. You know, she's going to take a little bit longer. I mean, you could a male can start. I mean, I've had males start at 10 months, and that's good and bad. I mean, because you don't know what he's really going to be at 10 months, right? But if he's already awesome at 10 months, you know, go for it.
Probably just going to get awesomer, huh?
What's that?
Probably just going to get awesomer.
Yeah, exactly. Awesomer.
Yeah. Awesomer,
yeah. I mean, you know the lines, but you know, the paperwork don't really mean a whole lot. I mean, you know, you look at the dog in front of you. If it's a badass dog, and you know, the hell with the pedigree. That's the way I look at it. You know, I don't really pay too much attention to that. You know, if I see a nice dog and I like that dog, man, I want to breed to that dog. You know, and then you know, after the fact, all like, so where's he out of? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, a good pedigree can't make a bad dog good.
Yeah, exactly.
It can make a good dog a little bit. Okay. Now I see why.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
I get it. Okay, so let's look inside the kennel now.
Keep all our stuff in.
Can you hear the audio?
An alarm there, so if somebody comes up our driveway, we can hear them from where we are.
Are you able to hear the audio on the videos?
I can hear it.
Okay.
We're pretty far away from the driveway, so we're a little low on dog food. Time to make a run. Got a washer and dryer, sink area, progesterone machine, microscope, fridge for the deer meat and all the raw stuff that we feed, bathroom,
the throne,
puppy play area out there. And come in here, we got some dogs. Some of them are outside, some of them are in here. And we've got guillotine doors. Of course, you can see the ceiling fans. We've got a smoke detector that's Wi-Fi to the house. So if something happens down here, we can hear it in the house. All the alarms in the house go off.
So are those the weight pull harnesses on the wall?
Yes, they are. Yep. A little dusty.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
We got a big fan. That's a dehumidifier that's running right now. It keeps it a little cooler in here and keeps, the humidity down. We've got a AC and heat up there, which works great. Cameras. We see that from the house or from our phones. We've got drains in the floor, which goes out to the back of the building. It really helps.
So what is the floor coated with?
Oh, that's epoxy. That is micro epoxy. Sherwin-Williams micro epoxy. Yep. And it's black.
Yeah. So you can water hose in there.
Oh, man, power wash.
I like it.
Power wash. That's been down ever since I built the kennel.
Yeah. Day one, huh?
Yep. Day one. Well, day 30. Something like that. You got to let it pre-cure, but,
yeah.
I put that down before anything went in. I didn't even have the ceiling in yet. I put it down. I went up the wall a little bit on the inside. All those walls are plastic. I originally put metal on the walls, the metal that's on the outside. And then I realized, that it was rusting because the dog would pee on it. So as soon as I saw that, I pulled that right out. And then I went and got that plastic, 4x8 sheets and covered the walls with that. And that stuff, that's been great. That's the way.
Okay. All right.
Not to dry out pretty quick. And I don't think that TV's ever been on. Originally, we were going to have 3 whelping areas right here, and we had a couch, but that never happened. Everything happens inside our house. So, just how we do it.
All right. So puppies are whelped in the house, huh?
Every litter. Yep.
I like it.
When we built this house, we have a whelping room in the house. Got heated floor, thermostat, video camera set up. It's got a farm door, like a Dutch door, I think they call it. So it opens top and bottom. So we can open the top and got a bottom door so we can walk up and look in and still see. And it's all tied. It's great.
I did kind of the same thing.
Okay, yeah.
There's no top to it, but I mean,
yep.
It's enough door to keep out whatever I'm trying to keep out, keep in what I'm trying to keep in, and yeah. So that's a good idea.
I've got a board lays. I've got it wedged in there, so I kind of put a pig rail around, and it holds this like a 2x12 onto the wall, and it's cut out so the mom can walk across it. This way, the puppies aren't all over the whole room, And as they get bigger, I just pull that board up.
And it even has enough room for a small crib mattress on one side. And there have been times when I've stayed there while she was in labor.
Yep.
And, fell asleep.
Yep.
But I'm right next to her in case, she has pups.
Yeah. I got this room is not really a big room. It's kind of like the spare room. So my creature comforts are not far away, but there's none in here yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got to work on that.
In the whelping room. But as soon as they're all born and everything is going well, we bring them out and then we put a whelping box. I made a 4x8 whelping box. It's made out of birch plywood. That thing's got to be 20 something years old. And we set that up and it's right in the living room. So like you're talking about creature comfort, we can sit there and watch TV and the puppies are right there underneath our feet, we can watch, and then at that point, then we're sleeping on the couch, she'll stay up, we rotate, the first 10 days is very important. We stay up 24/7. Somebody's awake. Somebody's watching. It's a lot of work.
It's a marathon. That first is a marathon.
It really is.
And the thing is, it's right when you're about to break.
Yes.
is when, okay, we're cool. All right, well, we made it. We made it. Because if it was another day like this, I was going to freak out. Huh?
I've seen her delirious. You know, she's just asleep. You know, can't function. You know, you stay up for 3 weeks straight. You know, it's tough to function.
Well, I had the last time because we had 2 litters and they were like a day apart. I thought I was fine. I took one of the females to the vets, or a puppy to the vet. Coming back, I'm fine. I'm fine. Well, I called him up and I said, "Oh my God, I fell asleep at the wheel. I passed out
Driving.
Right. Thank God it was, in the neighborhood over here, and it's all woods."
Yep. She hit somebody's fence.
It's scary.
Yeah, that is scary.
It's scary.
It's okay. I did not act like I was tired. You know how when you're driving, if you're tired, you start slapping your face, crank up the music, and put the AC on.
Lower the window.
Yeah.
All that.
I just was like, out. So that now I watch even more. It's like, okay, I haven't had enough sleep. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not driving.
I'm not driving.
Yep.
Yeah. Give me 1 second here.
So that's if you do it right for the dogs.
Well, we just don't want to lose any.
We don't want to lose any, and anything can go wrong. I mean, people don't realize, they say, well, moving on, lay on the dog. Well, it's not so much that you're worried about. It's the puppy that is all of a sudden drinking so much that it gets milk that comes out of the nose.
Aspirating on the milk.
Aspirate on the milk, and they die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're right. That first couple of weeks is crazy.
Yeah. And it's real crazy.
The quicker you can get mom back on regular duty, the better.
Yeah, I mean, like after about 2 weeks, we feel a lot better.
Yeah.
But right now, all our moms, they're excellent.
Yep.
I mean, we've got this one girl. Let's see, she's due, what, 2 weeks?
Less than that, I think.
And she was on the crazy side. She was just like, she's the one that boxed, just to let everybody know.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where, how is she going to be as a mom? And she had her pups, and she was excellent. Yep. I couldn't believe it.
Pleasant surprise. They always do that, though. We know they're going to change. You know?
I got one I kind of wonder about, but I think we're going to be okay. You know what I mean?
They come, and they're a different dog after that. After that first year, they're a different dog.
Yeah.
Because
I noticed after her second heat, she changed.
Right.
That's not because before then I was like, I don't know. I don't know about this one. And then she had that second heat and she mellowed out.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? So we're now. I feel pretty good about it. But yeah.
It's a good change.
Yeah. Let's see.
Not every mom can be. I mean, every female can be a good mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Some girls aren't meant to breed.
And then there's some that once they deliver the pups and the milk comes in, all of a sudden you have these cauliflower teeth. So it's not just the milk coming out this side, it's like a section like 3, and you don't know where the milk's coming out.
It's like there's no nipple. Yeah. It's just big. There's no nipple, and you squeeze, and it just comes out all over.
Yeah. So in a case like that, she can't help it.
Yeah.
And we don't like to breed dogs that, would have a problem like that.
Yeah. It's difficult. You got
to identify that beforehand.
I don't know if you can, because when it happens as they get older and after they have a couple litters.
No, I got you.
But as they get older, it changes.
So it's a situation where you just wouldn't breed them again.
Probably. If it's one teat, it's not too bad. But when it becomes like the back 4, and you got 8 puppies, that's hard. It's hard to puppy.
I got one girl. She's got a double.
Yeah, I've experienced that. Yeah, that's no problem.
And it's on the. I always say that one's the one because it's on the back. It's on one of the juicy ones. You know what I mean? And it's a double. Whoever gets that one, that's the winner.
Yeah,
that's why I picked up that form that I showed you the last time, So then if I can weigh them and I can keep an eye on, what they're doing.
Yep. Weigh them every day, checking their weight, make sure, they're gaining weight. And if one in particular is not, then to make sure that one's on a nipple more than everybody else,
Yeah.
So.
If you have your forms handy.
Yep.
Yeah, because this is going to replace the other one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what I do is I get
And
the
also, we're weighing in grams, right?
Yes. No, ounces. What?
Oh, you weigh in ounces?
2 ounces.
Yep.
Yeah. So, okay. I've been
all right.
book this for years. They're the calendars and they're journals. Okay. So let's see. Like for this, I would actually put down the dates that she goes in a heat, and then after I do that, then after I estimate the date, the time for breeding. Usually we do it like at day 8. We'll stop breeding. After you keep track of this, you'll get an idea on what day she normally takes. Okay. So what I do is I put down when she started bleeding, when I bred her. Okay, let me see this one. Okay.
And you guys also do progesterone testing, right?
We do have.
I noticed you had the machine.
Yeah, I have the machine.
We've got the machine.
I'm hit and miss with that.
Yeah.
I've had mixed results. But I would prefer, not to cut you off, sorry.
Go ahead.
I would prefer, having a male here, and she's flagging,
For sure.
Well, if she's flagging, yeah, she might be ready. But if she lets him mount, she's ready. You just let them do their thing.
Yeah.
That's much better than any machine. That's what I think. But
okay. So then on this page, I will put down who she was bred to and when she should have her puppies. Okay. So like I got for JoJo and Buxton, let's see, July 2nd. That would be the first date that I would expect puppies. But a couple days before, what I do is I start taking the temperature. So when I take their temperature, I'll put down the time and I'll put down what the temperature is. This one with Winnie, it was one of those things where the temperature kept going up and down and up and down. So as you can see, I've got a couple days that were really filled with the temperature. When they drop 2 degrees lower than the normal temperature, puppies should be born within 12 hours of that. So
okay, can you go over what a normal temperature is, how you take the temperature for anybody that may not have that
is like 101, okay, and with Winnie she had it like at 103 on a Wednesday, but she didn't actually have her puppies until Saturday.
Not 103. It's going down.
No, 101.
Yeah.
So it goes 2 degrees low. Usually their temperature gets to be like 98 point something. And that's when, once it goes back up to the normal temperature, puppy is usually born.
So it goes down, but when it goes back up, that's when you're expecting puppies.
Yeah, that's when they should first puppy. So I keep track of that. And in the back of the calendar, I also have pages so I can put down, like Winnie, I've got a birthday. I have the first time she went into heat, the first time that we bred her, and then how many puppies she had and all that. So I just keep track of that. And it makes it nice because, like I said, we have an idea of when she goes into heat. Winnie goes into heat every 6 months, where Shelly does the same thing. But JoJo and Blue Sky, their mother and daughter, it's every 4 months.
Wow, that's quick. My girls are 8-month cycles.
Okay, see, so
Yep.
So yeah. So
that's common. I mean, that happens. There's nothing abnormal about that.
But it's great because I keep track of this. I take this to the vet, and then the vet has any questions, I can show him, and I can say, see, I know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So when the puppies are born, I get a folder out. I'll put down the mama and the daddy. I'll put down the date. I'll put down how many puppies. I'll put down how many females, how many males. And then I put down, okay, this one was a litter of 7. Each puppy, when they're first born, I will weigh them. I will put down a description of them. And after that, then I'll do like, if the puppies are small, I'll do every single day that week. And then I'll do from first week to second week, up until 8 weeks of their, so I color code them. I crochet little collars. The color code.
Grab one of those.
Okay. I color code them. So this is pink. We do not name the dogs. When people come to look at the puppies, they will look at the puppies and they'll say, okay, well, I like pink. And we said, okay, pink is your dog. I put the people who are purchasing it, their name. And I also put their name on file here. This way, years from now, or anytime they call and they say, oh yeah, it was a JoJo and Teddy pup, I could just pull out the file and I'll see who they are. And I know, which litter they're talking about.
Yeah. Or they may not know the parent's name.
Yeah. So
Right.
it's for our records. And then this right here is also for our records. And it's one of those things like we have a dog right now, a puppy, and it was only the one in the litter. So I only had the one form. We're keeping him and he's a big boy. So I would go through the files to see who was the biggest male that we've had and where do they fall as far as his weight. So I was able, just out of curiosity. So we had one puppy in it. His name was the Beast. He weighed, like at 7 weeks, he weighed 11 pounds, 11 ounces. And we can compare him to the dog that we have right now, the puppy
And that
that
was
we have right now.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
That dog.
So
Wow.
it just,
But we could go back a lot longer now. We go back 20 years ago and tell you
yeah,
what color he was, how much he weighed when he was born, what time he was born,
exactly.
all that.
Yeah. Here's some puppies. Trying to show everybody Miss Mary's crocheted collars.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, that
Yeah.
was at the house that we had.
Our old house.
House.
Yep.
And the cot that you see, that is like a garden cot. And what I would do is I put the puppies in that, wheel them out. And in that yard, we had one little section that had pine trees. And we would take all the puppies over there and start training them to go to the bathroom over there. So
I like it.
So that's the card I was telling you.
That's the infamous cart, huh?
Sure. Running of the bull. She would run up and down that driveway.
And it's funny because those cots don't last long because of the,
Yeah.
the weight of the puppies and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I do have to.
We've gone through a lot of carts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a red wagon that we use, and
We got one of those too. You can't wheel that down the
Yeah.
step.
yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That's true. That's very true.
So now we just we run them out in the yard. We don't have the driveway anymore. So, but they still do the same thing. They don't know different. And we're wearing them out too.
Oh yeah, they'll chase that cart, huh?
Yeah. It's weird how they get attached to it.
Well, it's important for them to know what is daylight and what is nighttime.
Yep.
So, when you have a litter and then after the puppies go home, it's like they're not going to be up all night long.
Yeah. So once they get a certain age, we cover, we got the crate, in the living room, we cover that crate with a sheet.
When it's time to go to
Time
bed.
to go to bed. So they know it's time to go to bed. So the new owner doesn't get the puppy and it has no clue what's going on. Is it,
And they're, partially
almost,
trained.
almost potty trained.
Yeah. How? What is almost potty trained?
When you take them out of the crate, we always recommend a crate. When you get your puppy, put it in a crate. When you're not, playing with it, whatever, do not leave your puppy unattended.
Because if it does damage, that's your fault.
Yep.
It's not the puppy's fault.
So when the puppy's in the crate and you get up in the morning, you pick up the puppy. You don't put it on your floor. First thing you do, you pick it up, take it outside. Okay. where you want it to go to the bathroom. Because you can, if you keep doing that, it'll start when it walks with you outside and down the steps, it'll go to that spot you've been taking. And eventually, you can just tell it, and like our dog, go poo. And it'll go over that same spot its whole life and go poo.
So the reason why we say that it's partially trained is because a puppy that is 6 weeks old might not be able to hold the bladder.
Yep.
As long as
the control's not there yet.
But when you take it out of the crate, when you get it from us, you take it out of the crate and you set it in the grass, it's gonna go. It's gonna go pee, and then it's gonna go poop. I mean, Tigger's already doing that now. He hasn't had an accident in the house in a couple weeks. He's just 8 weeks old. 8 weeks old today.
That's a milestone.
What's that?
That's a milestone.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Getting ready to downsize his crate because he's in a bigger crate. We'll downsize it so we can control. So
he doesn't have room to
go to the bathroom inside the crate because he's not going to want to poop or pee in there. So once we make it smaller, then we're forcing him to hold it a little bit longer.
Crate training is super, super important.
It is. Yep.
It's funny because a lot of people, it's like, oh, I'm not going to do that. And then they have problems, and then they'll call us, and Chuck will say, did you crate train him? Oh, no, I just put him in the bathroom.
I had a
free spirit.
He put it in the bathroom, and the guy called me. He was mad at me. The dog found the PEX line coming out from behind the toilet.
I was going to say, eat your bathroom.
Yep.
And, they flooded the house. Yep, flooded the whole house downstairs. My person was house a pup, but didn't get deep or anything, but there was water everywhere. Just from him putting a little pinhole in that PEX. The water line coming out. So don't leave him unattended. He's going to chew something. That's what they do.
Yeah, what we do is when we go from whelping box to like playpen, we wire a crate to the playpen.
Yep.
So they always just kind of associate that with the place to get away from everything, and
it's a safe zone for them.
It is, and it comes in handy so much to ride in the car because like in my truck, they can run amok. I don't care. They want to get in mom's car though, they got to get in the crate and the bag, and they got to be cool with it, So,
well, Mary just took one of our females up the road here, and I had to work, so she had to take her car. She's got a new car, and we always no dogs in this car. We had that car 3 months and was already taking a dog for a 2-hour ride in the car. Of course, the back seat was completely draped, covered.
Had a sling light.
Yeah, but it's already happened.
I wish I could wear mine down like that. She won't do it. I'm like, I bought this car for them. I tell her, she gets mad.
That's funny. And my truck, care less. I'll throw him right in the back seat.
Mine right in the front seat, window down, all that. Yeah.
We took Tigger for he's 8 weeks. We took him for a long ride yesterday, about 2 hours. We were running around, and he sat right up on my console. Just sitting there looking around. Start him young.
Yeah, I had one. Check this out. This was before I was putting crates in the car or anything like that. They got the car. You leave the car on, hit the button, and it'll lock. And leave the air on, whatever.
Yep.
And I swear to you, this dog would crap on the car every time. I mean, just go in the store real quick to whatever, come back, just crap in there, and like in an ignorant, screw you type of place, like right on the armrest. Just like, what are you doing? Telling you how I feel is what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Leave me here again.
Yeah.
But now
that's
what was
how
it?
They communicate.
Little dogs.
Yeah.
One of your
No, this was a bulldog.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't leave her in the car.
Yeah. Well, go to the mountain. We had a place up in the mountains years ago, and I would take my work van. Me and Mary would go up there. It's a 6-hour ride. Okay. I would take my work van. There's a F-250 a cargo van, paint van. Eat all that. We're going to go up like from Thursday to Sunday. We'd put all these crates in the back and stack them up and take all the dogs with us, and it seemed like every trip, one of these dogs would get an upset stomach, right? And we'd be riding and it's open, we'd be riding and it's like, oh, you smell that? And I remember one time we opened the door and one of them had a real bad problem. It was everywhere. I mean, it was, look, she had to clean it. I had to go around the other side of the car.
Always be prepared.
Yep. I mean, we had to pull the crates out right on the side of the road. I think we stopped somewhere.
He wanted to throw the crate away.
Throw that thing away.
Thing's got a hex on it.
It was terrible.
Yeah. My brother, he had a healer for a while, right? And this is what she did. Me and him were doing something that didn't pertain to her, and she didn't appreciate it very much. So she pissed right in the middle of the living room floor, walked over to the door, jumped up, popped the handle, and went outside.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, it's not funny, but
yeah, that's just like, up yours, buddy. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's all it was.
That's all it is. Spite.
Well, we had one. We had one that it was years ago. Gosh, it was 89. Okay, so it was American Staffordshire Terrier. Okay. Anyways, I was at work. Chuck came home.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, and it was an apartment that we lived in at the time. The dog knows that, go up the stairs, you go down the stairs. You go down the stairs to go outside.
The door was downstairs, but it was an upstairs apartment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he grabbed the phone off of
toilet paper first.
Yep. Okay. But the phone was in the middle of the living room and he pooped on the phone.
So somebody must have been calling and he didn't like it.
Well, I don't know. But then he went to the bathroom and got toilet paper, was pulling it, and it was a long run all the way down the steps down by the door where he pooped again. That was a pit bull. Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew he was doing something wrong.
Yeah. The phone was spite. That was a spite poop.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He ripped it right out.
You're supposed to be petting me, and you're on this thing.
Yeah. And it was on the hook, though. That was the funny part.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Tell me a little bit about your dog show experience, career.
Okay. Well, I don't even know what year we started going to dog shows. I guess probably 2010, maybe. We did some with the OBBA. I think I met Jamie Sweet at one of those the very first time. And Chris Moore. Erica Mason. You probably don't know her. She's an American Bulldog lady. And what's the lady that's in Canada? Rose Bulls.
Hey, I see. Okay, I didn't see it because I wasn't there. But at Beast of the East, they got a monster up there.
Oh yeah,
they got it's a monster up there.
Who's that?
I don't know. Just some big old American Bulldog they got.
Okay. Well,
what's his name? Oh gosh, I see he's in all the videos and the pictures from the Beast of the East.
Okay, I don't know. I haven't been to a Beast of the East. I got some pressure on me now to go though. So, Chris,
yeah, you do. It's right there in your backyard.
It is. It's right up the street.
Yeah,
right up the street.
So we started going to a couple shows, and then Chuck finally said, I want to start a club. So then it'll be oldies, because a lot of people weren't used to oldies at the time.
So we would go to these shows and there'd only be a few oldies. And I wanted to see oldies. I wanted to see some dogs,
Right.
Like you're talking about some beasts. That's, I wanted to see some dogs. And that's what really got us going. And I talked to a few people, and so we got it going, and the IOABA they were all about it, but.
So we hosted the shows. I was the show coordinator. Chuck was one of the judges.
Yep.
The only thing is, we can't show our own dogs.
Yeah.
So all, the ribbons that you saw in the kennel, that was only some of them. None of them were from the shows that we had, because you can't show your own dogs.
Yeah.
If you're a judge, which makes
Right.
sense.
That's all good.
Yeah. So we met an awful lot of really good people.
Yep. We're
still friends with them today.
Yep. So I was trained by the IOBA by Will Perrion and his wife and
the daughter Asia.
You know they're back, right?
Oh, I talked to Jonathan last night for over an hour. They're trying to. He said last night, any position that we want, we can have. They want us to be involved. And Cole House, I just don't know, man. I don't know if it's a lot of work. I don't know if we really. I mean, I might judge. I'm probably going to judge.
That's what I'm saying. Pick a position is not too much work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still a lot.
Speaking of not a lot of work. So he starts the show. I mean, he plans on having a club in order to have shows. He turns to me and he goes, "Oh, and by the way, you're going to be show coordinator." I was like, "What? I do not know computers. I am not a computer person." I mean, I'll tell you, I made forms. I had everything all organized. When I look at it now, and it's like, I don't know how the heck I ever did it. I was getting sponsors, and I didn't even know that you could take and send an email and do it in a group. So every person that I got a hold of, it was a personal email to them.
Yeah.
That's the personal touch that everybody's missing.
Yeah.
But it took an awful lot of work.
Her and my daughter were riding all over. I mean, we lived in Virginia Beach. She was riding all the way to North Carolina, down to Kill Devil Hills, which is like 2 hours away.
We were going to pet stores. We were going.
A lot of work.
Anything that had
a lot of leg work, but it was worth it. It was a good time. So, and we're not, I'm not going to rule out that we're not going to host a show. I've called, a couple of my old judges, and as a matter of fact, I'll talk to Mike Hughes tonight. Do you know him?
Power Bullies. Say it again. Who?
Mike Hughes.
Mike Hughes. No.
Yep. Power Bullies. I talked to him this morning to see if he wanted to judge for the IOBA. So he's thinking about it. He may be on.
I don't know him, but if you say he's worth that, I need to get to know him. I'll get to know him. That's how I do this.
Yep, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I've known him for a long. I actually got him started years ago. Now, I think he probably does, more than I do now. Hell, he may even know more than I do. It's just he's younger. He's probably your age. He's a big guy. But he's I think he's kind of gotten. He just got one of our dogs. He just bought one of our dogs. He got out of Oldies for a little bit. And
here's your.
Yep, there's an old.
Looking for it.
Yep, an old banner.
There's all the sponsors that you did the legwork and went and got. Just nice list.
Yes, sir. And a lot of those, like the Walgreens people, that particular guy, they had 2 of our dogs. Mm-hmm. That's how we knew them. We knew them personally. Not Walgreens, but he was. He's like a district manager, I think, at the time. So he hooked us up really good. Not only did they set up and bring all kinds of gifts, and they were, really taking care of us. They gave us, a lot of, financial support.
Oh, they donated some tents.
Yep. Yep. It was really, really helpful. It's nice when you know people, and they want to get involved. Right.
But it's to know them first.
Yeah. I had somebody send me a picture. I think they posted it on my page. Their golf cart, and it's got some round stickers on there, like the ECBC. It was called East Coast Bulldogge Club, and they got sticker on the front, sticker on the back, and I was like, wow, man, that goes way back, which I thought was pretty cool, and
cool.
They're in Rhode Island, it's not like they live down the street or anything,
Yeah.
So,
and is that where you're from, Miss Mary?
Yep. Rhode Island. That's where she parks a car.
Yeah. I got a couple of dog friends from Rhode Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to go up there quite a bit. We don't go up there too much anymore. So, her mom passed away years ago, so we don't have to make that trip. I hate riding through Connecticut. It's terrible. And I
Never
wish I
been.
didn't. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, we
So-
might do something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the first show goes with IABA, and take it from there.
I think we'll host a show, but
Yeah.
we would help out.
Yeah. Mary's probably going to be a rep if we do anything. So, and I'll just judge.
Well, time will tell.
Sounds good.
So we'll see.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. Like I said, they're gonna have their big return show in September.
Yep.
We'll be there.
Yep.
Oh, you're going to be there?
Oh yeah.
He's in Arkansas. What are you, like 4 hours away?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we're going to. I believe we're going to stream the show.
Okay, awesome.
It'll be like kind of the play-by-play and
Yep.
talking to the winners type of deal. So
Yep.
that should be pretty fun.
Yeah, it's at least the shows we did, and I think Jonathan's on the same page. It was a family atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
We try to get kids involved. 16-year-olds, that's great. And even younger. I mean, we were doing this best dress thing.
You had kids as
And
judges.
we had the little kids judging, and I like that one. All three of them would say, I like that one. And that was the winner, which it's good when you can get kids in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're talking about doing junior handlers, stuff like that. I
Yep.
think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're going to do a lot of different fun shows. So, a lot of different.
I didn't know, and I guess it makes sense, but I just didn't know that the junior handlers, like the dogs, don't get points. I never knew that.
Yeah. It's I don't know. At least with the IOBA, I don't know how the ABKC is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Every registry is different, but I'm not sure about. I know the IOBA didn't.
So I think like if a kid does it and actually gets good at it, they should be able to get on in there.
I do agree with
And
that.
if a dog wins with a kid, it should get 2 points. You know what I mean, or whatever.
I agree.
Like this dog won with a 12-year-old. That's So I don't know, but I think it's cool. Whatever it takes to get another generation into dogs. Yep. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep. Well, the IBA they're trying to go bigger. They want to have more than one show a year. That's what we were doing. They're talking they want to do like maybe a couple shows a month. Every month. Which that's a lot of work. But that's what they're talking about. So
yeah,
I wish them the best.
Yeah,
I think they're good people. So
I haven't met them yet, but we've talked. And like I said, I was really, really curious. I was because in my brain, someone takes over business for two reasons. One is it's just doing great, and they're just going to keep it going how it is, whatever. And the other one is they want to see things different. So I'm like, I got to know what I'm dealing with. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it turns out that sounds like the latter.
Yep.
And acting like the latter, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, he wants to make everything better. So which is good. They kind of vanished there for a little while.
Yeah. I guess that happened with COVID, huh?
I don't know if it was COVID, but
it's life.
Yeah,
life. I mean, people had a tough time trying to find us, and it's like, why? We've always been here,
Yeah.
But we weren't as active because, we had things going on,
Yeah, just busy.
Yeah.
Life be lifing.
What's that?
Life be lifing.
That's it. Be lifing.
Yeah.
That's definitely the word.
Then we got the Beast of the East coming up.
Yep.
I'm gassed up about that one too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go.
Oh yeah. I already told my wife we're going. Probably just take a dog so that we can move around a little bit afterwards. Cause I want to go see DC or something.
You can make that trip in 19 hours.
Oh, is that all?
That's it. And the reason I know because we did it.
Yeah, round trip is just a week of work. That's all.
He's come.
Okay, well you're a little closer.
Yeah, you're close.
Yeah.
So 15 hours. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I drove all the way to Fort Smith from here, from Virginia Beach, in 19 hours. And I didn't. We stopped
It's
to
a
pee.
hump.
Man, we stopped to pee, and that was it. I'll never do that again.
Yeah, it's a hump. Like I said, we're gonna do it. We'll do it once. I mean, if they do it every 2 years, then we'll probably just be there for it. But
Yeah.
we're definitely doing it this year because we came from California and we've been like to Georgia, but we haven't really gone as a family gone up that way. So take the chance, go check some stuff out,
Yep.
Go see some monuments.
Yep.
Just try to stay out of trouble.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not bad. I mean, just a little bit.
As long as you're good at it, right?
Huh?
Just got to be good at it, right? As you said.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then like I said, I didn't make the last one, but the videos I seen and everything, the amount of oldies that were there, the people who I now recognize that I didn't before, stuff like that. Like I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah. So when did you find me? When did you realize that who we were?
Fairly recent.
Yeah.
Fairly recent.
You said you never heard of me or heard of Beach Bulldogges or anything.
Well, okay, I got my first oldie in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I could have been, should have been, tried to be one of those COVID breeders. I was like, I'm gonna do it, whatever. But my dog, she got out on the road, got hit, didn't make it. We had to start over. So I guess that proves a little something about the actual wanting to do it. It's something that I always wanted to do, but my life was never to that point hadn't been settled enough. We were finally settled, made a decent amount of money, stuff like that, and yeah. So.
Well, the thing about it is you can't go anywhere. We really don't have vacations.
Yeah.
If we can go somewhere, like we go to the beach a lot. Well, not a lot this year, but I got a camper that I put on my truck, and I go to the beach and fish.
We've brought litters of puppies with us.
Yeah, we've taken the whole litter with us.
Yeah.
Take a little pool, put the pool out there, put a tent up, and the crowd is coming and going like, oh my God,
Right. Yeah.
You got to do it, but we have vacations. We don't even know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
The year before, I had to go to Arkansas for my granddaughter's high school graduation, and he couldn't make it because we had 2 litters.
Yep.
I've never really been a vacation person.
Yeah.
Even like kind of before we had a kid, and before the dogs, we were frequent overnight, like for the weekend people.
That's
never like for a whole week we're gonna get away. Nah, it's Friday night. Let's drive up the road a couple hours, do something, be back Sunday type of deal.
Yeah, that's us. We'll go to the beach on Thursday afternoon, and we're back by Sunday. That's all.
And then my brother lives in the same town, so I can still do that. Like, man, check on my dog Saturday after work, whatever. But so it's not too bad.
So, yeah, like when you breed them, you have to have somebody that you can trust.
Yeah, if you're going to leave.
Yeah.
We've got a couple people, but that's still, it's a lot of work, especially for what we got going on. It's a lot, and we don't have that much. I know guys got a lot more,
Yeah. And I had a wise man tell me, take your vacations in the cold part of the year.
Hey, there you go.
And I just, okay, that sounds right. I'm gonna do that. I'm not even gonna test you on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It does.
Yeah, because they do a lot better with the cold than the heat.
Yeah, typically for us, like for my work, the wintertime, that's when it's kind of slow. When it does slow down, then we can get time to do something. It's in the wintertime.
Yeah, it's awesome. Let's see.
All right.
And then we talked about that. I think we got everything, Mr. Chuck, Miss Mary.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad we did it. I'm glad that we got to redo it.
Yep.
And I'm glad that we're gonna get to put out a presentation that's worth it. Worth easy watch, easy listen.
Yeah, easy listening.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah.
All right.
I appreciate you guys.
Buddy. See you
You
later.
guys have a good one.
You too. Thank
All
you.
right.